Hello, Facebook. What is up? What is up? What is up? Okay, so we're going to hop right in. I am sorry that our little intermission went a little bit longer than I had planned. I took the extra few minutes I had to tidy up, mop the floors, and I put dinner in the oven behind me. My son is over there watching YouTube, and so yeah, I'm back. But I wanted to talk to you guys about the 7 pillars of self-care because there are 7 areas that I feel like really need our attention when it comes to our self-care as a whole. And the first one being our mental health. You need to be cultivating a healthy mindset. You need to be working towards having a healthy space mentally. Hey, Cassie. And this can be done in many different ways, right? The main question here is, what are you feeding your brain? Are you feeding your brain positivity? Are you feeding your brain negativity? What are you feeding your brain? And we feed our brain consistently every single day with the music we listen to, whether or not we listen to podcasts, audiobooks, the people we surround ourselves with, what they are saying, what we are saying to ourselves. So you really need to make sure that however you're feeding your brain, it is... Excuse me. Sit down. You need to make sure that it is a positive thing, okay? And another thing about the mental health section is, how is your self-talk? How are you talking to yourself? If you were looking at the toddler version of you, would you speak to him or her the way you currently are speaking to yourself? If the answer is no, then you might ought to assess how you are talking to yourself. Because we have harsh environments around us consistently. And we don't need to make that worse on ourselves by being just as hard on ourselves as others are on us. Okay, so the second pillar of self-care is emotional. And this is one that I tend to spend most of my time kind of nurturing, because as human beings in general, we have massive emotions. Even our children have massive emotions, and a lot of us were not taught how to deal with those emotions in a healthy way. So, first of all, are you healing the things that need to be healed? Are you healing the traumatic experiences? Are you breaking those things down and accepting them so that you can release them and be free from them? Do you have healthy coping mechanisms? That is a big one. I used to be a straight up binge eater. I would eat emotionally, and it got to a point where I was gaining a lot of weight. I gained a lot of weight whenever I was pregnant with my son. I gained 84 pounds because I was emotionally eating, and I was telling everyone that I was just eating because I was pregnant, when no one really knew that mentally I was so just disarrayed. I mean, I would sit down and I would eat 4 hamburgers because my emotions were all over the place, and it wasn't just hormones. It was the fact that I was afraid. I was also depressed. I was a lot of things at one time, and I didn't know in that moment how to deal with it. So instead, I would just smash 4 burgers and eat a bunch of French fries and down Cokes and Dr. Peppers, and do that in the hopes that that would kind of disguise or numb where I was emotionally. So, have healthy coping mechanisms. I switched the binge eating. I ended up just slowly changing things out. Hey, Cal. Slowly changing things out. So instead of smashing 4 burgers, I would eat pickles, or I would get a healthier snack like hummus and bell peppers. That is my favorite snack on this planet. You give me the bagel hummus with some bell peppers, and like, it's over with. But I changed my route. I found healthy coping mechanisms. I found the essential oils. You're about to grab my coffee from me. I have a whole pot. If you want to come over, we can share a cup together. I introduced new things. So I learned to use my breath. I started leaning on essential oils after I had my son. When I found those, that was a game changer. I started journaling. I started taking just few moments in the day away from everyone else to just sit with myself. And those things really, really helped me. I also found the golden question that I needed to ask myself. And this question has stuck with me ever since. Whenever you emotionally are not feeling stable, and I'm talking about like 1 second you're just sad, the next you're not so sad. A lot of time it's because we're overwhelmed, and sometimes it is because you need to go seek help and get help from a trained professional. But if you don't feel that it's went that far, then I challenge you to ask yourself, what do I need in this moment? What does Mercedes need right now? What does Kel need right now in this moment? What does Cassie need right now in this moment? And that answer might be different every single time. So I remember after my son, the night that I had my son, I was already kind of like, oh my God, I've got a kid. I have no idea what to do. I was freaking out. And I asked myself, what do I need to do in this moment? And I was like, I need to take a shower. I need to take a shower. I need to get clean. I feel disgusting. Like, I just need to take a shower. So my husband helped me get into the shower. And that was the most refreshing thing that I had ever had in that moment. And so I started to carry that question with me in every single day of my life. Anytime I start feeling overwhelmed, I will ask myself, what do you need in this moment? Sometimes it's coffee. Sometimes it's oils. Sometimes I just need to turn on Nicki Minaj or Beyonce and just thug it out. You know, that answer may vary for you, but you need to be asking yourself that question. So the third pillar in our self-care is physical. We need to be making sure that we are taking care of ourselves physically, especially as mothers, because we have younger children that are relying on us and they are depending on us. We need to, please get away from that. That is hot. Get away from it now. Go. Go. Thank you. We need to be making sure that we are taking care of ourselves physically. So what are you fueling your body? Are you eating nothing but junk food? Or are you at least cooking some home-cooked meals in with the junk food so that there's a balance? I love to live by the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, we eat really good food that I know exactly what's going into it. The other 20% of the time, I might smash some Whataburger, or I might get dark chocolate because I can't stand milk chocolate. Dark chocolate is my favorite. There's balance, and healthy balance. Everything is good in small amounts. That's all I'm going to say about that part. Also, are you getting enough sleep? This one, I really need to start kicking my own butt on because I do not sleep enough. I know I don't sleep enough, and one day my body's going to make me start sleeping, and I don't want to get that far. So make sure that you are getting good sleep. Water. Y'all know I preach this to you all the time. Water intake is important. Do not drown your body, but don't dehydrate it either. Like, healthy balance, at least drink, if you want to do the bare minimum, then just drink half your body weight in ounces. And there you go, you got the bare minimum. And lastly, I'm just going to say it because we're real here on my side of the internet. Sex. Yeah, make sure that you have sex. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Fill the physical need. the fourth pillar in our self-care is environmental. Okay, and our environment can really make or break us up here. I don't know if anybody can relate, okay, but if my environment is cluttered, my brain is mush. You can tell the state of my brain by the state of my car. If my car is a mess, chances are I have way too many tabs open up here on my brain. Go now. And it really does make a difference. It really, really does make a difference. So whatever this looks like for you, maybe it's having a 10-minute quick little tidy in the morning, or having a whole day designated to just cleaning up your space. It's going to make a massive difference in your mental health. Okay? Maybe you have this. I just literally shot my pen across the room. Sorry, y'all. Maybe you have one day every quarter. So if you're in business, you know 4 quarters in the year. But for those of you who aren't in business, then you could just say every season. Maybe you have one day every season where you do a mass declutter in your house. Okay? Maybe you set up stations. In my house, I have health stations. Okay? And it's just little stations to help me remind myself to put, 1, our health in the forefront, 2, our mental health and emotional health in the forefront, and 3, my sanity in the forefront. Okay, so I have stations for all of our immune system rollers. Every morning they get rolled on, all of us, before we leave the house. I have stations for our emotional rollers. So when my son gets upset, can you hand me my pen, please? When my son gets upset, he knows what station to go to get all of the oils that helps him emotionally. Little things like that. Maybe you have a coffee station in your house, or a little place in your house that's mama's sanity station, where you just go and sit in a corner and get sane for a minute, you know? Those help also. The 5th pillar is spiritual. Okay? These are just activities and practices that give us meaning. Okay, and these things look different for everyone. For me, I love to meditate. So I like to just sit in silence. I don't like to have noise. Hardison, go sit down. I'm not playing. I don't like to have noise. I like to sit in silence and just relax. And I like to take deep breaths. I like to have my oils with me and just be for a minute. Okay, you could also journal. I journal every morning and every night because it helps get all of the clutter out of here and onto paper so that I'm not harboring those thoughts and emotions, okay? My son journals. He journals. He has a little journal, and even though he can't write everything, he will draw a picture of how he's feeling. And that helps him release. I mentioned breath. Connecting with your breathing, I used to thought was so freaking woo-woo. It's not, guys. God created us to breathe for a reason. And right now, with him, I'm having to do a lot of it. But it's totally fine. Put those up right now. Now. Thank you. Connecting with your breath will do massive, massive differences. And another thing is prayer. Okay? Sometimes all you need to do is just say, hey, God, if you're up there, this is a complete crap show, and I need you to just handle it. Thank you. Sometimes that's all you need to do. Okay? And the 6th pillar is recreational. Go. The 6th pillar is recreational. So have hobbies. Have hobbies. Do things. Try new experiences. Don't be a frigid old lady. Like, have fun. Just because you're in your 50s or your 60s or whatever, it does not mean that you can't go out and have a good time and make new memories. Even in your 20s, honey. Just because you have kids does not mean that you die. Go do things that are fun. Okay? And the last one, this leads right into the last one, is social. Build relationships. Find people that are in alignment with you. Make connections. Set boundaries for those unhealthy relationships. I'm not playing with you guys. It matters and it's so important. It is so important. Like, so important. Me and Kel have been talking all afternoon. I'm pretty sure I have a new online best friend. Like, we're 20 years apart in age, but we align with each other so much, it's crazy. Make those connections. Find people that you can just vibe with. You don't even have to know anything about each other, but you just vibe with them and you know that it works well. Okay? So, that's all 7 of the pillars. They are all equally important, and you need to be making sure that you take care of all 7 areas for your mental health. So yeah, that's it. I am going to go get my spaghetti squash out of the oven and go ahead and get him in a bath and get him ready to go to bed because Mama is ready for a break. I'm just going to be honest. He has been loud and proud all day, and my head is starting to hurt. But I love you guys, and I will see you back for high-low in a little bit. Bye.